Hello and welcome. I am the Suit&Tie Dip&ChewGuy, and this is the number 17 entry on my Chew review list. And as you just saw, it is of a plug, Brown's Mule. Brown's Mule is a product of the Pinkerton Tobacco Company of Owensboro, Kentucky. All right, so let's take a look at the packaging. What you have is a sort of saran wrap outer, all right? Everything's pretty self-explanatory. It is noteworthy that this product is 1.5 ounces. Most plugs that come in this type of wrapping are usually 2 ounces. What that translates into is that is the 1.5 ounce, and that is a 2. They're basically the same size this way. The 2 ounce is thicker. All right, so everything is self-explanatory basically on the front. Going around the back, you have a barcode, you have the manufacturer. Underneath here, right there, is a digit and letter code. It is 4 digits and letters. I do not know what it means. This product is good though, and I will show you why in a second. When you're dealing with these, and I do not have a ton of experience with plugs. In fact, as far as plug goes, I probably have more experience with plugs involved with pipe smoking than I do with chewing. But basically, you're looking for a supple block. All right. Density of a very dense brownie. But you can leave thumbprints in it. I don't know if that is going to register on the camera, but there's sort of a depression where I press my thumbs into it, and actually on the front where my fingers were on the other side. But the big test is it bending around like this? So normally on the side that does not have the seam, which is the front side, normally I make a cut with a knife I use right offset from the upper seam. I cannot find that knife. I can only find my work switchblade, and knowing where that's been, I am not going to throw that into play here. So normally I would just make a cut like right here on the front side because there's no seam on this side. You don't want to be trying to cut around this. And I'd move this back, and the product could be pushed up from the bottom and then put back down. If you're going to have it around for a while, you're going to want to throw it in like a snack-size Ziploc bag. That's a surefire way. I can go through one of these, especially the 1.5, in a day outside, though. This time of year, I may end up putting part of this in a Ziploc bag and throwing it in my fridge. For this review, I'm just going to cut the top. And I cut the paper by accident too. This stuff is fresh because it doesn't want to come out. Okay. Oh, I wasn't counting on that part. Yeah, it doesn't want to come out. Okay. All right. Normally, if it's a little bit drier than this, you could push this out, but this one does not want to come for whatever reason. I guess I'm ripping this package off. Okay. Wow, it's still giving resistance on there. Good grief. Okay, so that's what you have. Now, it is in paper, all right? On this one, it's black, and this stuff is so moist that this paper is coming off, which is usually sort of difficult. I did order this in from the online retailer that I hate to name drop, so the product is probably fresher than anything you'd find in a local store if you could find plug at all. So now I'm not quite sure what to do here because this is, oh, okay, well, I'm gonna take the paper off so you can get a shot of what the product actually is. Now, the paper was wrapped around the length here, okay, and the ends were clear. You can see the ends. That's because this stuff is pressed usually in a long block and then cut down the block. All right, so that's what you're dealing with. Now, the other thing I'd normally do here, and I was going to do it for this review, but then I couldn't find the knife, and now I'm wondering if it's even necessary because of the freshness of the product. Another thing I'd do would be now mind you, if I was working outside, I wouldn't do this, but for the sake of things running smoothly here, I would have notched the side here and here so the rip-off would have points of break. All right, I am not going to do that. The paper you can leave on these. I only really took it off so you could actually see the tobacco cake. Okay, so let me just see what this is going to do here. Okay, so I'm just going to take a bite out of this. That's basically what's going to happen here. Now, in general, I've always found plug to take a little bit more time to get going. This stuff is really fresh, but you're not going to find it moist like a Stoker's product. Reason being is it's been pressed. All like actual visible on the leaf moisture has been squeezed out of the product. So I'm going to hit the pause button here. That's what that looked like, by the way. All right. I'm going to let this get going, and then I'll be back. And I am back. Okay. So, I like it. It is a original chew. It is leaning to the bitter side. Saying bitter, though, I don't want to make it sound bad because it's not a bad thing. But it is very subdued sweetening going on. Because all originals are sweetened. It's just like stuff like Levi Garrett is extra sweetened. This is sweetened even less than, let's say, a Redman, in my opinion. In the mouth, it is comfortable. There are not going to be really any stems whatsoever. There shouldn't be, even on a cheaper product like the Brown's Mule. Now, Brown's Mule, I don't think it's put across as a budget product, but because it is a ½ ounce less, it is a little bit lower in price than others that are at the 2 ounce mark. Also, it has a lower, much lower domestic tobacco content. It's only 18%. I'm sorry, I meant to show you that on the packaging. It's already in the trash, though. It's only 18% domestic. In the mouth, usually if you put chew in, loose leaf anyway, you get it in the cheek, and then after the first like 5 minutes or so, it's going to pack down. This stuff, because it is so compact, sometimes gives the feel that it's actually expanding. Okay, so yeah, it would be real easy to probably put half this block in my cheek. But when it started soaking up moisture and getting wet, I don't know what that would look like. Right now, I got about 1/6 of it in. It's a good flavor. It's a very strong flavor. It's very... I don't know. It definitely leans to the bitter side, okay? But it is a very tobacco-forward product, okay? There is no mistaking that you have. There is no candy flavors going on here. There is nothing masking. It is that in your mouth, and you know it. Overall, the flavor is good, though. I mean, I like it, but if you tend to lean away from bitter stuff, like if Red Man Regular is too bitter for you, you're not going to dig this at all. Just move on, all right? Otherwise, though, I mean, it spits well. It does take a little time to work up juices in the mouth, okay? There also is, to break it up and get it sort of in a comfortable format, there is a little bit of like sort of gnawing on the back molars to get it sort of broken into a, comfortable grouping. I don't know what you want to call it. But all in all, I like it. I don't know if I would want to chew this on a daily basis, because I do actually chew or try to make a point of it daily. I don't know if I would want this flavor profile on a daily basis, but it is a good flavor for something different. So, unfortunately, I didn't even think about this aspect. I can't do my end product shot because I threw it all out already. But this has been the review of a brown nameless clump of... Okay. This has been a review of Brown's Mule plug chewing tobacco of the Pinkerton Tobacco Company. It's bitter, but I like it. I am the Suit&Tie Dip&Chew Guy. I'd like to say hello and thank you to Chris Wilson, Rusty Shackleford, Rob, Thomas Turner, and Redhead. Guys, I do thank you. That is all in the last 48 hours, that is all of the notifications I got. Plus, Mr. Wilson popped up in a thread, as I always ask. If you want me to shout you out and acknowledge you, leave a comment, okay? Because if I haven't called you yet, then that means I didn't get a notification. Guys, do take care of yourselves, and as always, God bless.